Well, we do need to learn together, and I feel like I knew I was going to say something that is something you are doing. So please know that we are not judging you.
Oh
Like
my
we're literally debating putting her in timeout. But like I remember getting all this advice and being like, that sounds so mean, but then it's like, well, what do you do when they do this? I don't know. And our kids are younger than your kids, so you're like going through it before us always.
No,
So
yep, that's so true.
um yeah, I wanted to ask you about do you and so you had put postpartum down. I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about that with me, but if you want to share your thoughts around it, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just like I kind of when I thought about postpartum, I mean, postpartum is it's such a broad topic because it's not really specific. I didn't really like put anything specifically down, but um, just postpartum is obviously like post pregnancy, post like birth, and I don't really know. I can't remember. I should have wrote down what I wanted to talk about, but um, I don't know. I mean, if you have any
No,
questions
that's
for
totally
me,
wing it.
I could answer some. I'm an open book.
Yeah, did you have it yourself?
Oh, like postpartum, like depression and postpartum blues and stuff, all of that. Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant when you
I just kind of meant like just postpartum anything, like just because I feel like
Okay.
it's a lot of things happen postpartum with like our bodies, with mentally, emotionally, physically, so many things happen. So I feel like I kind of just like put it down to kind of like explore all of those areas. So you can ask me about anything
Okay.
about any of that stuff if you want. I know. I was like, put down the topic, and I'm like, is he gonna want to ask me stuff about that? I don't. Maybe he's gonna be like, oh, I don't really want to know, or like, I don't know.
No, no, I will. I Alex talks to me about everything, but whatever you feel comfortable with. Is there something that as a husband I can do or as husbands can do in general, when it comes to that?
Oh,
I think Alex has had postpartum stuff, and sometimes it's hard to know as a husband like let's say um a woman is going through postpartum issues with their body or mentally or just anything, they're probably not gonna. Maybe they say, "Hey, I'm going through this," but then like 6 months later, they just feel normal. They're probably not gonna say like, "Hey, I feel normal." Like, there's no end. There's no like I remember Alex went through it with Savannah, and I don't remember her ever telling me it was over, but I know at some point it was. Um, and so I think as a husband and dad, it's like I want to be supportive, but I don't always know what to do.
yeah. No, you're so spot on with that. There is never, yeah, it's like, when do you ever hear a mom be like, okay, like now I'm done with postpartum? It's just like, is that never ending? Because after you have a baby, are you always going to be in postpartum forever? Yeah, like that's so, it's not like you're like, okay, now I'm good. Now I'm normal again. I mean, you're never normal again after go through a pregnancy and have a baby. Like everything changes after that. I mean, I definitely, after each pregnancy, it felt different every time. Like I felt different mentally, emotionally, and physically every single time. Um, I think I talked to you and Alex a little bit about this with my first pregnancy, but I went through a lot of postpartum depression with that, and it didn't happen like right away. And it would like come in spurts too. Like it wasn't like it didn't start and then just like be for a long period of time. It would kind of like come and then I would feel that way for a few months, and then I'd be okay for a few weeks, and then I would feel like that again. But I struggled a lot with postpartum depression my first pregnancy after my first baby, just because I felt really alone. I think that was a huge thing. Not a lot of my other friends had babies at the time. So I think it was such a shock to me to go from being this social person, hanging out with my friends, to just like being home every day by myself with this baby. And that was all I did. And I wasn't in a great relationship. So that just like added on to already feeling alone. Um, so yeah, that was really that was really hard. I think I talked to you guys about that a little bit. I'm pretty sure. Sure I did.
Yeah, you did. You did. Do you have any advice for what you did and how you kind of work through that?
You know, I don't think that I worked through it at all. I think I'm just being honest, like I didn't handle it well at all. And so my advice for anyone that is going through that, or you know someone who's going through that, or just anything like that, I definitely wish I would have reached out and said something to somebody about it sooner. Um, even though I felt really, I don't know, I felt kind of like shameful almost, and just like, well, I shouldn't feel this way. I just had a baby. So I think I was just scared
Yeah.
to tell people, and I think too, like I didn't know what it was. Like I just I didn't know what it was, so it was hard for me to even like explain. I just knew I was feeling really down and really bad. Um, so I think just like no matter how scared you are or how strong you think somebody is, just like like asking them how they're feeling, how they're doing, and also like if you're feeling that way, just like don't be afraid to speak out and ask for help or ask for support or whatever you're needing in that time. I really wish I would have done that. I really wish I would have told people sooner how I was feeling, what was going on. I definitely wish I would have done that way sooner than I did.
Yeah. I don't think that that's probably very easy to do, but that's probably helpful if you can. Always reaching out.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Well, I think that as a guy, I do want to help Alex, and I think she's like not really having it. I don't even know. I feel like no matter what I say, it would probably wouldn't be right. But I don't think that it's that hard. Like you kind of mentioned, I think that it kind of comes and goes for her because there are definitely spurts where I think she's totally fine. Um, and I'm sure is it something where you feel like it's hard to recognize if it's postpartum, or is it just like maybe just a bad week, like you're just not sleeping because the baby's up, or are they obviously two separate things?
Um, definitely two separate things. And you know, it doesn't have. It could be a really bad case of postpartum, like depression and blues and like rage. Those things could be really severe. They also could just be you don't have it as bad. I do think that. I don't think it's just like you feel it or you don't. I don't think there's like, if that makes
Okay.
sense. I definitely can speak from experience. Like I have had weeks where it was just, I'm just like, okay, like I need a break this weekend. Like I need to just go and drive around by myself, or like I'm exhausted. I don't want to talk to anybody. Um, And I think that's just, I think everyone feels that way, whether you're a parent or not. I think you can feel overwhelmed in life and, need a break just mentally and emotionally and physically. Like, I think everyone feels that way. I think, I don't know. I don't want to say like a stay at home mom may feel that more, when they're having a week like that, but it's, it definitely feels to me, um, just more overwhelming and more exhausting. And now that I have been a mom, been a working mom, and been a stay at home mom, I can definitely say I like am probably way more like exhausted physically being a stay at home mom, but like not as stressed as I was like when I was a working mom, if that makes sense.